Story 1. It is always obvious when someone does not mean it. From pickup lines to over-the-top poetic nonsense, keep the flirtation proportional if you have just met. Instead of telling a stranger you are the coolest girl you have ever met, say you seem really cool and that you are glad to have met her and mean it. Do not try to please her by saying what you think she wants to hear. It puts us on the defensive because that is how creeps operate. Story 2. I was dancing with a man at a bar when he told me I smiled too much. Don't insult us, then expect a good time. Story 3. Do not start a conversation by touching me. I do not know you. I have had men grab my buttocks and try to put my hair behind my ear. Do not touch me. Story 4. Hi. Are you okay? Are you awake? Where are you located? Story 5. Fetishize me. I'm half white, half Japanese, and it is amazing how many men can't get 4 sentences into their introduction without making a Japanese schoolgirl or hentai reference. Or talk about how giving and submissive Asian women are. All of the ick. Story 6. They appear interested only in sex, not in me as a person or in spending time together in meaningful ways. Almost nobody asks me about my life, hopes, and dreams as long as I pass the attractiveness test and do not come across as dangerously weird. Story 7. Someone approaches me and asks for my phone number, Snapchat, Instagram, and other contact details. There is no introduction or attempt to get to know me. Instead they say, "Hey stranger, put your information in my phone, please." Story 8. Stop staring me down like I'm a rabbit they want to eat. It's weird. Don't be so intense. Have fun with it. Smile, laugh, and play. Flirting should be for fun. Story 9. I usually flirt too soon. Bro, I met you 0.03 seconds ago. They appear out of nowhere and start asking for my personal information. Name, phone number, even a whole form to fill out. That guy was scary. He ended up meeting a woman who committed arson, and they got along well. I do not warm up to strangers quickly and dislike being asked for personal information by people I do not know. At least have a conversation with me before making demands. Story 10. They should not treat me like a human being, as if I am a game to win or conquer. If someone approaches the interaction with genuine curiosity and can have a fun conversation without expecting a specific outcome, they are already doing better than 95% of men who normally approach. If the person shows their personality authentically and gradually escalates the interaction, it can be a very good experience. Story 11. You are coming on way too strong. I might flirt back, but it is because I'm trying to get to know you better and decide whether I like you. If we have been talking for only a couple of minutes and you try to touch me, that is a no. Please ask before touching me if I have not made it clear that I am okay with it. Asking is attractive. Trying to be a super dominant alpha male who forces me to do what you want is not. Story 12. Only talk about my looks. I always tell them that looks fade and that I expect to be senile and incontinent in 5 years. The funny ones laugh and the rest unmatch me. It's a win. Story 13. They act so contrarian that they disagree with everything I say. It is a game for them and draining for me. Story 14. They try to flirt with me after their first choice rejects them, right in front of me. I am never chosen first, but I have enough dignity not to accept being a second choice. Yuck. Story 15. Does not respect boundaries, does not ask questions, and puts other women down. Story 16. I met and went on a date recently with a man who was way too obvious with his mirroring. He copied everything I did, ordered the same food and drinks, and claimed the same likes and dislikes. When I asked about his own preferences, he gave vague answers like everything or nothing. Trying so hard to be universally likable paradoxically makes you very unlikable. Story 17. I experienced inappropriate comments from the get-go and was stared at below my face. Story 18. You are not asking me questions. I understand you want to talk about yourself to show what a catch you are, but please show interest in who I am as a person. Story 19. Talk about choking me when we are sexting. Miss me with that shit. Story 20. Hover and stare, especially on the dance floor. I am trying to groove. Story 21. Act like adult men using playful innuendos. Story 22. Treating any no as please keep trying. then insult me when I say it again. Story 23. Do not get physical with me aggressively or excessively without reading my body language and reactions. Story 24. Do not mistake confidence for cockiness. Be genuine. That is far more attractive. Story 25. How can people tell the difference between flirting and normal conversation? Story 26. 1. Insulting others by belittling their interests or comparing them unfavorably to others. 2. Giving backhanded compliments, for example saying someone looks like the girl next door in a dismissive way. 3. Being overtly sexual immediately, such as making explicit comments about a person's clothing or body. 4. Making political jokes or comments that demean women. 5. Touching someone without consent or initiating physical contact without clear mutual signals. Story 27. A while ago, when I decided to try Hinge for the first time, it was the worst idea ever. Many men made sexual comments in their first messages, which was really gross. Story 28. Some people don't take a hint. I don't know if it's to save face, but a couple of years ago, if a man approached me and my friends at a bar and I said I wasn't interested, he would say he was just looking to make friends. No, he wasn't. Leave me alone. Story 29. Not saying anything of substance. Talking sexually right off the bat. The whole "I normally don't do this" spiel. Story 30. They compliment only my physical appearance and do not ask questions about me or bother to care about anything I say. It is obvious what their intentions are. Story 31. Compliment my looks first and foremost. I can tell you have eyes. I do too. Tell me something that takes a bit more effort to realize about me. Story 32. Call me honey or sweetie right out of the gate. Now, turn it off immediately. Story 33. I cannot stand when men do the lip-licking thing while looking at me. God forbid they add elevator eyes and rub their hands together. It's vile and makes me physically recoil. Story 34. It's a delicate balance between coming on too strong, seeming like you don't care, or just wanting the ego boost of me liking you. Story 35. Making things sexual at all is a massive turnoff. It is repulsive and instantly makes me feel unsafe. Story 36. Immediately assume I want to have sex with them because I am talking to them. Story 37. Especially when we are practically strangers, they express how much they cannot restrain their urges around me. Story 38. Some people treat me badly when they realize I am not interested in them. Being cold because I would rather be friends first and get to know you as a person will get you nowhere. Girls are not worthless just because you think you cannot be with them. It only shows your true colors. Story 39. They get a bruised ego and start insulting you because you are not attracted to them. Fucking prick tease is a common phrase among those people. Story 40. You have become the single biggest threat to my life in every conceivable way. You remove my personal space and block my route to move away, backing me into a corner and, if I do not back down, screaming at me. You threaten me by saying you find me attractive and that you want me to have your children. More than one man thought that would make me comply. You warned me that you do not take rejection well. Unfortunately, you will have to get used to it because I would rather fight knowing I might lose than give you an inch of what you think you are owed. For different men have done this. You look at me as if I am not a person, only someone to lead past a dark spot in an empty parking lot. Disgusting. Story 41. Their body language shows they are more interested in having sex with me than in me as a person. Many men would have better luck with women if they treated us like people. Men are more than wallets and penises. Women are more than vaginas and household servants. Both have minds that should be respected. Story 42. Ask no questions. Monologue at me, thinking it is impressive. Story 43. They sexualize me almost immediately and, of course, consider it a compliment. One man told me he had been showing my Instagram profile and photos to his friends and liked that they thought I was attractive. He said he enjoyed when they commented on my clothes and body. We had been texting for about a week, and he had not even met me yet. Story 44. If a man says he has never been with someone of my race before, do not call me girl. I am not interested in being added to your collection of oddities. When someone tries to guess my nationality within 2 seconds of meeting me, I tell them to guess and then excuse myself. Do not touch me. I do not know you. Story 45. They start talking about sex way too fast. I'm not a prude, but can we get to know each other a bit better first? Laughing out loud. Also, I hate the whole "you're not like other girls" comment. I'm not your manic pixie dream girl, dude. Laughing out loud. Story 46. Everyone wants different things, so while some women respond to strong sexual flirting right away, I do not want that at all. It would be instantly revolting. Even minor sexualization, such as saying "you are really attractive," would be extremely off-putting coming from a stranger. Casual honesty is more attractive. For example, saying "I enjoy talking to you" and asking if the person would be interested in going on a date sometimes shows genuine interest. He seems human and likes me as a person, so maybe he is worth a shot. Story 47. Only offer me gifts and things you can buy with money. I appreciate the discipline of working 3 jobs and earning a lot of money, but what about your social life, emotional intelligence, and self-esteem? I'm interested in people who have their act together, not just an automated teller machine. Story 48. This comment section is confusing because many comments contradict one another. Bottom line, people of different generations, backgrounds, and experiences like different things. As a man, something I learned from reading this: read the room and learn who you are speaking with before you start significant flirting so you can communicate effectively. Also decide whether you are just looking to hook up for the night. If she is as well, she may want a different interaction than she would if she were in a relationship and expecting respect. Often, if it is just a hookup, she might not care about small talk at all. Story 49. Physical flattery, sexual comments, and insisting on telling me I'm beautiful, sexy, or other superficial things are an instant turn-off. I can tell they're attracted to me. Verbalizing it as a stranger is pushy, dehumanizing, and objectifying. Story 50. Set expectations. People may expect a phone number, personal information, or sex. You can sense that. Stay calm and be okay with rejection. Introduce yourself with your name and basic information, and be curious about whether we want to get to know you. If we do not, it does not mean you have no value as a person or as a potential partner. It may mean the vibe was not there, we are already in a relationship, or we are focused on work. Story 51. Being overly sexually desperate. Oh my God, men, please stop doing this. Story 52. They hit on me when they are clearly 15 or more years older than me. I am in my early to mid-20s. Stick to your age group. Story 53. Middle-aged male friends in a marriage or long-term relationship, texting some cute shit at the crack of dawn. I know you're texting because you woke up with a boner. Handle yourself and leave me out of it. Story 54. They immediately asked for my phone number and continued to bother me after I said no. Story 55. During conversation, they keep stepping into my personal space and then step forward to reestablish it when I step back. They use their body to isolate me from the group or separate me from my friends during conversations, so I cannot face anyone else. They put their face too close to mine while speaking. The conversation might be normal, friendly, or slightly flirty, but I leave feeling creeped out and determined never to let them speak to me again. Story 56. Don't make it too obvious right away. Drop subtle lines every now and then, and when it feels comfortable, get a bit bolder. Start with simple compliments and gradually increase the level of flirting. Once I had a man go straight for a sexual joke, and I hated it. When my husband first started talking to me, he complimented my outfits and mentioned quirks or personality traits he liked. When he knew I liked him back, he became more suggestive. That's how it's done. Story 57. Start a conversation through a bra for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Story 58. Being followed. In certain parts of Africa, following someone used to be seen as a form of flirting. When people moved from the diaspora, they continued that behavior. Some also maintained pedophilic inclinations. I was followed in a shopping center when I was 17 by a man and a woman. I had to hide behind a rack of clothes while a store worker pretended I was not there. I was followed in a large store at age 25 and in a botanical garden when I was 15 or 16. In each instance, the men were more than 20 years older than me and probably had wives and children. Every black woman I know has been followed at least once. It is a sickening flirting tactic. I thought I had finally grown out of it, but then I was followed in the large store at 25. Story 59. When I tell them to piss off and flash a wedding ring, and they say, "So," and flash one back, "Dudes don't get married if you want to live a single lifestyle." Story 60. You were getting too close. I may have reciprocated the flirting, but that does not mean I invited you into my personal space. It makes me want to run and burn the bridge behind me. Story 61. Lead with money. This oceanfront house and boat. Tacky. I'll discover it later. Don't describe the house's geographic frontage. Just call it the damn house. Story 62. They tell me I'm pretty, hot, or beautiful, but then have no plan after that. So I say thanks and walk away. It's clear they only care about my looks and not who I am as a person. Story 63. Male clients try to get me to talk on the phone outside scheduled sessions under the false pretense of asking for advice, so they can obtain my private number and breach professional boundaries. They then refuse to accept no when I use professional responses to decline. Me, we can discuss this during our next session. Him, but it's only 30 minutes. Me, so you want me to give you advice for free while making me feel extremely uncomfortable? Please, men, do not hit on women while they are working. If you believe interest is mutual, approach her directly and respectfully so she can decline with dignity. Story 64. Mansplaining or bragging is not attractive. Do not just stare. Talk to me. Story 65. I think clever pickup lines are just corny as fuck. To me, clever means something circumstantial and niche, something you came up with using your own imagination and awareness. Any pickup line that sounds copied and pasted from an online post is an instant turnoff. Story 66. I am a transgender man. Before transition, the biggest issue I had with cisgender men was 1. Not taking no for an answer. Sometimes the no was indirect, since many women are afraid to say no directly. Could sound like maybe some other time. 2. Flirting in inappropriate situations. For example, flirting with someone who is being paid to interact with you, such as a server. Or people flirting with me when I was trying to get from point A to point B, for example on a bus. 3. Not holding up their end of the conversation. This happened mostly online and over text, but occasionally in real life. Basically, they failed to show simple respect and interest in the other person, either shutting the conversation down with a brief response like cool and nothing more, or only talking about themselves. Story 67. Is no one going to mention being flirted with while at work? Story 68. They treat me like an object to satisfy their inadequate fantasies rather than the human I am, who could blow their minds if they ever took the time to connect authentically. Story 69. Every woman so far, coming on too strong. What strategy 1C winning? Going on too strong. You will say this is not true, but that is why men get confused. They see other men going all in from the start and getting results. The truth is it only works for very attractive men. Average men must accept that they are less attractive through no fault of their own. Women can also mistake not being attracted to a man for disliking his approach. If she found him attractive, she might have accepted a direct approach. Because he is not attractive, she simply does not like him and the direct approach makes her uncomfortable. In the end, it is the classic idea that average men are invisible or annoying to women. Approaching often pushes them into the annoying category. Story 70. Hello? What's your name? Can I buy you a drink? While drinking, spend 5 minutes getting to know her. Then say I'd like to get your number and take you out sometime. She may say yes or no. If she says yes, call 3 days later. After you get her number, leave. Story 71. This may sound surprising, but many women prefer to be spoken to as individuals rather than primarily because of their gender. Prioritize their personality instead of their physical appearance and get to know them as a person. Unless you are having sex, physical appearance is irrelevant. Do not behave as if sex is on the table right away. Many men fail at this simple task. Story 72. They say gorgeous too much. Seems lazy to me. There's a difference between a well-worded "you look gorgeous" and using it after every other sentence. It's annoying, especially when I ask them to stop and they persist. What really irks me is their stubborn persistence after I say I don't like it. Repeating it in different ways won't change my mind. Story 73. Be genuine and take an interest in her as a person. Compliment her on more than her appearance, such as her laugh or her style. Make her smile. Treat her as a person, not a conquest. She is not an object. Story 74. You are not like other girls. First, why compare? Second, it makes us wonder how many girls he has been with to reach such an incorrect conclusion. Story 75. A man came up behind me and touched my lower back. He spooked me because I thought he was my friend, and when I turned around I saw someone I did not know. Story 76. Do not send mixed signals. Be consistent. If you are interested in me, do not play games, act hot and cold, or flirt with other women. It is childish and will backfire with mature women. Story 77. Sexualizing someone right off the bat is inappropriate. I don't know you, so do not talk to me like that or make everything sexual immediately. It feels unpleasant and makes the person feel like an object. Also, some men think insulting someone is a way to flirt. That is just mean. Do not give half-hearted "you are kind of cute" compliments. A simple "hey, you are cute. Can I have your number?" Or "you are really pretty. Would you like to go out sometime?" will go a long way. Story 78. Look me up and down like I'm a horse they're considering buying. Story 79. When people give inappropriate compliments like "you look hot," what do you mean by that? I don't want to sexually attract you. That's creepy. Also, when they become overly interested in your life and leave no personal space. Story 80. What could a man say that would work? Story 81. Either they do not mean what they are saying. Their behavior does not match their words. For example, it is clear when someone just wants to have sex, or when I see them using the same moves on multiple women and, after being rejected by more desirable women, moving down the line to any woman who will put out for them. Another big turnoff for me is when men talk about themselves, their wealth, or their accomplishments without taking time to get to know me. I used to be in a dart league and had practices and tournaments in different bars, so I have had my fair share of losers trying to flirt with me. I have also had some very attractive, down-to-earth men approach me. I am especially attracted to men who are down-to-earth, funny, and friendly, who take the time to get to know me and find common interests. They are polite to others and look out for women to ensure they feel comfortable. But really, that is just me. I know there are some women who do not find the same things attractive, and that is all good. Story 82. To be honest, when people repeatedly call me pretty and comment on my looks without making an effort to have a real conversation or build a connection, I appreciate the compliment, but what else? Story 83. I can read through most people like an alligator can see underwater. It does you no good to try to impress me. You are better off being yourself. Story 84. They mention my skin color in their compliment or refer to characteristics specifically related to my race. It comes off very fetishizing, and 10 out of 10 times it is. I'd love to have very cute caramel babies. Your hair is so spongy. I love it. I love the contrast in our skin tones when we're together. I want you to grow your hair out like my ex did, so I can help you do it. Our babies would be beautiful. I love your type, black and thick. I want you to dominate me. Do you have a fat ass? You do, right? Your race always does. I bet the bunda is huge. I love girls like you who just do a froze. It's so exotic. Those are the most prominent ones I've heard. Story 85. Do not try to sell yourself to her. Try to get to know her and genuinely connect. The sexiest thing is showing that you care. What puts women most at ease is sensing that a man will not force things if you or he do not truly get along. Story 86. I don't approach women, but they stare at me and talk about me, thinking I can't hear them, saying I'm cute but too short. Whether women judge you as creepy or sexy depends on whether they find you attractive. Nothing you do will change their initial impression. Story 87. I will tell you if it's on social media. Do not fucking jump to direct messages right away. It's creepy and annoying. Engage with public posts. Say something funny or interesting and have conversations with other people in the comments. After you have established rapport and she is interacting with you, then you can make your move. It's annoying to get a lame, "How are you?" in direct messages from out of nowhere. On that topic, "How are you?" is a bad question to ask someone you don't really know. The same goes for, "Tell me about yourself." It's like an interview question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And feels like boring work, like filling out a resume. Keep it fun and light. Search online for light conversation starters or mention something you know she's interested in, like concerts, a television show, or similar. Pick something not overly personal that is fun to talk about, for example, your first concert. Story 88. 1. Ignore all the obvious signs that I am a lesbian. This is forgivable. If he is a cool guy, we could still be friends. 2. Ignore me or tell me they can change that when I tell them I am a lesbian. That is unforgivable. I will pay an Etsy witch to curse them. Story 89. I read the whole thread and concluded that I am indeed extremely attractive to women. Story 90. Assuming I am a newborn who does not know how any appliance or application works, being told to calm down immediately puts me off, even in casual conversation. Story 91. They have a complete personality change when speaking with me and other women versus when speaking with men. Just treat us all like people and be your authentic self. Story 92. Instead of introducing themselves and having a nice chat, many men go straight to insults and nudity. It is so gross. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.